This is a little bit hard to do because where I'm at, I'm actually got the one butt cheek and a foxhole, really. Some old axles. I think I'm lying to you. Volkswagen tail light. This is the front valance off of a Honda Accord or a Volkswagen Jetta that my sister so eloquently ripped off. And you see my hat. I'm a Tennessee boy through and through, but in all honesty, I am sitting in Tennessee, but that pile of fenders is in Virginia. It's a special spot. I thought I would make a little video mainly for myself, because you never know with weather and how things are. But if you notice in the background, there's a fence post. That fence post is a corner fence post, and not the first fence that we built here, but I was 10 years old when we moved from Blunttville and Muddy Creek to Lowe's Gap, Wadlow Gap, and I was a wild 10-year-old little boy who was just full of energy, and I just loved to be doing boy stuff, you know. I mean, my dad was a little bit of a city boy, but a drag racer, and had a 70 Plymouth Barracuda with a big block, you know. It was just and then I had these uncles that were young and hunters and fishermen, and you know, I had a grandfather that was probably one of the best crappie fishermen on the planet. Stories fishing, you know, him and some of his buddies, some of the Millhorn boys that cousins that he fished with. Tennessee Ernie Ford was one of Mr. Millhorn's childhood friends, and they all fished, which was kind of cool. Big crappie fisherman. My granddad, it's like an amazing fisherman and a superb fly caster, and I have a Jim Lowe technique, and I have fished with people from all over the world who's like, you know, you cast fairly unique. It's pretty, and it works. And it's like, yeah, it's thanks, Granddaddy. But and we had room, you know, in Bluntville. We had 2 or 3 lots, I think, in the house, and the house was brand new. We moved in one winter. Seems like I remember being a little bitty in the back seat of a Jeep, and it was snowing, and Dad was at work, and it was our first night in our new house. So Uncle Ray took my mom and me and dropped us off, and then Dad made his way when he got off of work. And I'm not sure where Dad was working at the time. Greif Brothers, maybe. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Greif Brothers. And we lived there for 5 or 6 years, and new home, and it was nice. You know, I had a go-kart and got a little bit bigger for the go-kart, and they bought me a Yamaha Enduro 100, and I rode that thing everywhere, and it was a nice place. But I was still eat up with, you know, I'd rather be at Papaw's, you know, and Granny's, because there was just room to roam. There was critters, there was woods. I could just walk and kind of disappear. And you think, oh, well, disappear? 6, 7 years old, and that was my thing. I mean, that's what I enjoyed to do. And I had it figured out. If I was within earshot of my grandmother when she hollered, "Get out the back door," and I could go, "Yeah," and she could hear me, I was golden for about an hour and a half. So I could get on the very outskirts of her yell and my yell back. And before you could hear the back door of the old farmhouse slam, I was gone, because I knew I had an hour and a half to get out and back to that point. And that's what I loved and enjoyed, and always have. Family of my own, and getting older and having to have a job and take care of yourself gets in the way of that, you know. And the little boy has turned into an old fat man with you know, white beard, but I still enjoy it. I still come home in the evenings when there's not really any chores to do or anything that's in dire need, and I just roam around up here on the hill. That's just what I do. It's what I enjoy. Makes me feel better. It revives me. It relaxes me. But you know, it is what it is. I just was up here, and I seen this old post, and I kind of got sidetracked. But I have to tell you the story of this old post, the one in the background. So we moved here. I was 10 years old. My little sister was 3. You know, she was just running and you know. So I had lots of free time because of my age, and my parents kind of had their handful with her, and they used to like to let me disappear. So we when I say disappear, I mean out and play. Kids don't do that no more. You know, they disappear. Or they in the couch in the living room, or piled up in their bed on the damn video game. When I say disappear, I mean 30 acres up on the hill, building real tree forts, not on the video game with your fingers, Minecraft bullshit. Cutting trees down and lashed them together and making shit, But so Dad would get home from work, and we would normally work for a couple of hours when we first moved here, and it was growed up and really, really thick. There was a little bit of a field kind of here that was growed up, but it was still a field nonetheless. And once we got settled, I guess it took I don't know, it probably took 6-8 months for us to kind of get settled, get around the house cleaned up and livable. It hadn't nobody lived there in years. Before that, it had been rented. Before that, it was elderly people that had lived there for years and years and years and years and years. And the people across the road were feeding pigeons over here. There was, God only knows, piles of trash from every damn body. So, we worked at picking all that stuff up and cleaning up around the house and getting it livable there. We started branching out, and part of the main reason to move was, well, Kevin's getting older, and he loves animals, and he wants animals and critters, and he needs more room to roam than, 3 lots, So, thank you, Mom and Dad, because that was spot on. It was exactly what I needed. I don't know if it's what my mom and dad needed, or even my little sister at the time. She wasn't old enough to need much other than food and some affection, but it's damn sure what I needed. And that's what they done. And done that until I thought I didn't need that no more. 17 years old, and I'm smarter than everybody else. So, but I'm here now, and short of that few years, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, other than those very few years, and I was chasing the girlies, I've been right here. But, so we got that done, and we started branching out, and we'd started to get some critters, and this one field up here seemed the easiest to fence and what have you. So we started building fence, and I remember it was a Saturday, and we're building fence, and the sun was out. I don't remember what time of year it was. It was beautiful outside. Spring, early spring, I'm pretty sure. So we're building fence, and I don't know why, and I can't remember where we started, but this is a corner post, and it is an old locust post. Can't remember where the post was originally at or come from. But we dug a post hole with post hole diggers, and thank God I was just too little to really work a pair of post hole diggers, but I was having to learn. But so Dad was doing most of that, but I had to go get the post and carry the post and put the post in the hole and fill the hole up and tamp the hole. But I can remember standing here. I can remember the sun shining, and there was the house and the barn and everything down below, and you couldn't see up here from anywhere unless you walked way up a huge backyard to the edge of the field below and looked up here. You couldn't have seen us here. Of course, there's a bunch of stuff here now, old parts bin where Dad stored some of his Volkswagen parts, or still Volkswagen parts in there. But back to the story. I know I keep getting off, but this old post is starting to rot. Locust, and it's starting to rot at the bottom. It is still a corner post. There is fence on both sides of it, and fence that could keep something in. Maybe not something too mean, but it's still, the fence runs all the way up through there. The fence is tore down across this way, and then it runs all the way back down this other side, and we built every bit of that, and that was just a couple of different days that we worked on. But back to this post, and this one of the most memorable ones, because I'm standing here and I'm really not wanting to be here building fence, and my dad was like, "This is ours." Yeah, Dad, I know. He's like, "No, it's ours. We can do what we want to do. If we want to have pigs in here, horses in here, cows in here, or whatever. Ostriches, it turns out. South American ostriches. But we can have anything we want. It's ours. This belongs to us." And that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me at that particular time. But I'm guessing my dad was just 27 or 28 years old at the time, and he's standing here with a 10-year-old little boy. So for one of the first times, he felt that he had something that was his and his family's. It was ours. This was ours. Him and Mom had both worked hard. My mom and Dad both worked, and hard, and it was ours. I'm like, that's cool, Dad. Yeah, it's cool. It's Saturday. Can we get done building fence so I can run through the woods? That's ours. And he just wasn't getting across to me. It was ours, and when something's yours, you control, and you do what you want to do. And there's people who be like, "Oh, well, yeah, but there's laws. You can't kill people, and you can't steal." I understand that, but you can still do that stuff. There's just consequences if you do it. It's just how it is. It's how it is. Some people are decent enough to all know you can't do that, and they don't do that. Some people are like, "Well, I can do anything I want, and they're going to do it. And if they get caught, they'll pay the consequences." But he wasn't getting through to me that this was ours, we could do whatever we want. So it was time to put the post in. So I get the post, I drag the post up the hill, unhook the post from the chain I drug it up here with, and I'm trying to get the chain up off the ground. Dad, don't leave the chain on the ground. We'll lose it, and put it back in the four-wheeler or the back of the truck. I don't think we had a four-wheeler at that time. We did soon. But I hear the post thunk down in the ground. And I hear my dad say, "We could build this fence naked." So the first thing through a 10-year-old was, "Naked? Oh my God, naked?" Then the next thought was, why would we build fence naked? And I think that's what I actually said. Why would we build fence naked? Because we can. Okay, Dad. This man had not been drinking, I promise. Not at that particular time. So I turned back around to go help Dad, and this man is standing there butt ass naked. Right here. Right here. Just butt ass naked. Well, he did have his socks and work boots still on because he was fairly tenderfooted. So, but short of his work boots and socks, the man was naked. I turned around and got a eyeball full of grown white man ass cheeks, or well, grown in what I thought was grown. He was my dad, so I thought, hell, he was old to me, even though he was 27 years old. I was just flabbergasted. And he said, "What's the matter? We can build fence naked. Get naked." And I'm like, building fence naked might be a little weird. Building fence naked with another man is really weird. You know, and it was the point he was trying to get across, and he got the point across. Naked, but he got the point across. But that's the post. I don't know how much longer it's going to be there. I could never tear it up, even though all these posts my old man drove in the ground. But that one, Mother Nature will have to rot out of there. It's just it's a wild memory for me, and I've told some people that story, and they're like, "What? Really? Are you serious?" But for the few people who knew my old man, you would understand. But he got the point across. This is ours. This is ours, and we can do what we want. It's just a memory. I'll never ever forget it. Everybody has special memories, and I have tons and tons. I had a very good mom and a very good dad. Amazing uncles. Superb grandparents. It's 2019, getting ready to be 2020, and all of my grandparents are alive but one. We lost Pap in 2016. Body as strong as ever. Just the dementia had its mind, and it was tough. But out there, all the rest of them still alive. Granddaddy and Mama's still doing superb. Granny's as mean as ever. But I just wanted to reminisce, and like I said, this video is getting a little lengthy, and I very often, like I said, it's mainly just for me. So just the old post. It's it's just a fence post that was put in the ground by a grown-ass naked man and a 10-year-old little boy. I miss him with clothes on.